Hello everyone, how are you all? Well, today we will talk about another important topic of English grammar, which is determiners. But before we discuss determiners, let's discuss the different parts of speech that you have already studied in your previous classes. So the different parts of speech are nouns, pronouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs, prepositions, conjunctions, interjections and determiners. And today we will talk about determiners only. So determiners are the words which are placed in front of a noun to make clear what the noun refers to. They all come at the beginning of noun phrases, and usually we cannot use more than one determiner in the same noun phrase. So there are different classes of determiners. Let's discuss articles, demonstratives, quantifiers, possessives, numbers, distributives and question words are different categories of determiners. And today we will talk about articles only. So we all know that there are three types of articles, which are a, an and the. And further they are divided into two categories, definite and indefinite. The indefinite articles a or an signal that the reference is non-specific or general. However, the definite article the signals that the reference or the noun is specific or particular. Let's talk about the definite article the in detail. Definite article is used before singular and plural nouns when the noun is specific or particular. The only definite article is the. The signals that the noun is definite, that it refers to a particular member of a group. Let's discuss the different cases where the article the is used. The first case is to refer to something which has already been mentioned. For example, an elephant and a mouse fell in love. Now here the nouns elephant and mouse are used for the very first time in the sentence. That's why we are using the indefinite articles an and a. But when we will refer to the same nouns again in the sentence, then we'll replace an and a with the. So the mouse loved the elephant's long trunk and the elephant loved the mouse's tiny nose. Similarly, in the next example, it is written that I live in a house. Now here the noun house is used for the very first time. That's why we will use a with house. But when we will use the same noun again in the sentence, then we'll replace a with the. The house is quite old and has 4 bedrooms. The next case where we will use the as article is when the speaker and listener have the same references. For example, the object is present. The cats are sleeping. Here we are talking about the cats which are sleeping particularly and not about all the cats. The milk is sour. Don't drink it. There is only one object. For example, write your name on the top of the page. Now the page can only have one top. That's why we will use the with top. The third case where we will use the is in sentences or clauses where we define or identify a particular person or object. For example, the man who wrote this book is famous. So we are talking about the writer of one particular book. That's why we will use the with man. I just saw the most popular movie of the year. So here we are talking about that particular movie which is the most popular. So that's why we will use the here. The fourth case is where we need to refer to objects we regard as unique. For example, sun, world or moon. So here we will use the in front of sun, world and moon since they all are unique. The next case where we will use the is before superlatives or third degree of adjectives or adverb and ordinal numbers. For example, first, second, third, last. So here we will use the in front of highest, which is the third degree of adjective, the in front of last, which is the ordinal number, and Similarly, we will use the with longest. The next case where we will use the is with the adjectives to refer to a whole group of people. For example, the Japanese, the Malaysian. The next case is with decades, groups of years. Month, for example, she grew up in the 70s. December is the last month of the year. The next is indefinite article. So there are two indefinite articles, a and an. And when we talk about indefinite articles, we need to keep in mind the sounds presented by the nouns. So, a is used with nouns starting with a consonant, sound and not letter. For example, a cat. Here cat begins with k sound, which is a consonant sound. A house. Here house begins with h, which is again a consonant sound. An is used with the nouns which start with vowel sound. For example, a, e, I, o, u. Or in Hindi, these sounds are a, e, o. For example, an apple. So here a is vowel sound. An opera. O is vowel sound. Using a or an depends on the sound that begins the next word. So, an before an h mute or silent h. For example, if there is a word which begins with a consonant letter but a vowel sound, you need to focus on the sound rather than letter. So here in R and honor, both the H's are silent and the words begin with vowel sound. So you will use an with them. On the contrary, A before U or EU when they sound like U. For example, European though begins with the letter E, but it gives the sound Y, which is a consonant sound. Similarly goes with university and unit. Y is the consonant sound, so you have to write a in front of all the three words. Now there are different cases where we can use a or an. Let's discuss that. The first one is to refer to something for the first time. This we have already discussed in the article the. So when you refer to something for the very first time, then you will use the article a or an depending upon the sound. For example, would you like a drink? I have finally got a good job. The next case is when we refer to a particular member of a group or class. For example, with names of jobs. John is a doctor. The is consonant sound, that's why a doctor. Engineer is vowel sound, a, and that's why we will use an with engineer. Similarly, with religion and nationality, we'll also use a or an depending upon the sound. The other case where we will use a or an is when we refer to a kind of or example of something. For example, it was a very strange car. The mouse had a tiny nose. The elephant had a long trunk. A, also known as one, referring to a single object or person. For example, what a shame. She's such a beautiful girl. So, one refers to single object or person, and there also we can use a or an depending upon the sound. I would like an orange and 2 lemons, please. The burglar took a diamond necklace and a valuable painting. Let's discuss about zero article now. Now there are certain cases where we will not use any of the 3 articles, and there we have to leave the blank as it is. Such articles are called zero articles. An occasion in speech or writing where a noun or noun phrase is not preceded by an article, such a case is called zero article. Zero article is used with these things. Let's discuss them. So, the examples of zero article with proper nouns. We cannot use any article with proper nouns, so we have to use zero article there. For example, Aaron Aziz is the name of an actor. Ayam Penyat is the name of a restaurant. I love to eat Oreo is the name of a biscuit. So you cannot use any of the three articles here, and you have to use zero article or no article. Similarly, with mass nouns, we cannot use any article. For example, mathematics, homework and knowledge. Plural countable nouns. Frogs, boys and cats won't have any article. Plural non-countable nouns also won't have any articles. For example, sugar, oxygen and water. Now, there are certain examples of zero article by means of transport and communication. For example, with car, train and telephone, you will not use any article. With institutions of life and society, for example, jail, college and campus, you will use zero article. And with times of day and night, for example, dawn, midnight and week, you will again use a zero article, which means no article is used here. With the seasons as well, you will not use any article, for example, winter, summer and autumn. So this is all about articles. Thank you so much.